Hello,
Hello, hello
everyone.
everyone. Yes, good
Hello,
evening.
hello.
Hello everyone.
Good
Kamusta
Good
kayong
evening.
evening.
lahat?
Hello, good
Good
evening.
evening.
Parang ang babait
Yeah.
ninyo.
Kanina sa backstage, wala.
Tahimik yata kayo.
May,
Kinain ng mga...
mahirap mag-host. Mahirap mag-host pag ganito. Any- anyway, thank you so much for all of you joining us tonight. For those of you who are watching us and following ours regularly, I'm your host today. I got promoted today to be a host. My name is Joseph. I'm here with my fellow friends and business partners who I also met in this digital business. So I'd like to welcome them, and they're from Canada and United States. So you're gonna hear from them shortly, but. Tonight is a bit different. We're not going to be talking about business. We're actually going to be talking about life. Okay, we're talking about life. So we'll be talking about the life we wanted versus the life we were living. Okay, so we're just going to share, our thoughts, our stories, things that comes to mind and experiences that we've had. And I hope that you can sit back and maybe resonate from the stories that we're about to tell you, because we are sure that at some point you are in the same position as us, where we had to stop and take a moment and ask ourselves, is this it? Is this really it, or is there something else, right? So tonight we're just gonna have a real conversation, sharing our stories, our thoughts, and small moments that made us start seeing life a bit differently. Okay, so yes, I'm your host again. My name is Joseph from Hamilton, Canada. I have a wife and two young adults. I am a retired IT professional from the banking industry. I did serve 3 decades of my career with one company, which I'm very proud of. I am a financial coach, self-taught on financial planning, retirement planning, and stock market investing, including real estate as well. And I am a very proud digital business owner. So yeah, so I'll go first. I hope I'm not going to take too long, but the life we wanted versus the life we were living. So way back then, I had big dreams. I had big dreams. I wanted to be a president or a CEO or whatever of a company at some point, when I was young. But thank God, my mom and dad decided to move us from Manila, Philippines, all the way to Canada, and that was, I would say, 40 years ago. So with that move, and I know it was one of those gutsy moves, and I remember my mom and dad were debating whether they should do it or not, and it was a very tough transition for them because they had a good life in the Philippines, but they wanted to give their children an opportunity, right? So I will never ever forget that. I'm very very grateful for my mom and dad to move us over here and sacrifice their way of life back home in the Philippines over here, and they had to start all over again. I do recall that my mom had two jobs, and then my dad had one job, but obviously, it's us. We were starting, we were struggling. We were really what you call starting from ground up, right? And all I can say is, with that journey, it really taught us a lesson. Like us four siblings, we said to ourselves, we have to take advantage of this opportunity that's given to us by our parents, right? So then, obviously, we started going to school, going to work. We were very, very lucky to be here early age. I was a teenager at the time. Actually, no, I was only 12 years old at the time. And it was something that, I will never forget, because I really had a great upbringing with my grandparents, my mom and dad here in Canada. And I was lucky enough to experience all of it. But one thing I missed in the Philippines is really the high school and the college years, right? Because I'm sure some of our guests here, or my business partners, can share about their lives in the Philippines way back then. But so the life that we wanted, or I wanted, was really to reach that peak where I could be hopefully a president or CEO. But things changed, obviously, right? I mean, once you start working and once you see and experience life here in Canada, it's tough. It's tough, especially for all of us immigrants. We all had to start from scratch. And I do recall that nothing is given to you for free. You had to really work hard for it, right? You really had to work hard for it. So we pushed through. I eventually I started working for the bank. I went to school, of course. Started working in the bank. I actually transitioned from school, and a week after, I was already working for a bank, which is crazy. I didn't even have a vacation time to relax, but it was a great ride. It was a great ride. I was very, very lucky to be working for a company for 34 years, and they've been very good to me. So I'm very proud of that. I met a lot of people along the way, and soon enough, I thought, things weren't as easy as I thought, because I got sick along the way. And that's when my whole mind started to change. I think it was around 2010 is when I had a major surgery. It was a life-threatening surgery, and believe it or not, the doctor said I had 99.1% that it would be malignant, right? And sometimes you kind of wonder. You have that operation, and then you hear, oh, it's benign, right? So you beat that 0.9%. You beat that odds of 0.9%, and really, that really changed my life. It really changed my life. And at that point, I was started looking for something different, because I was really, really stressed with my role in the bank, because I found out that there are no jobs that are not stressful. All jobs are stressful, right? I found out the hard way. And stress was the number one concern with all the doctors that I've even talked to, and also people that I've met, right? Stress is the number one issue. And then along the way, life, has this, it really teaches you a lesson. Believe it or not, there were 5 or 6 employees that I know that passed away on the job. So, it's a wake-up call. And at that point, I said, you know what? There has to be something different. And that's why 2010, I started looking. I was on long-term disability, of course. And then I started looking, because I said to myself, I cannot go through this again. And I cannot put my family and my future at risk, right? So, and then obviously things changed for me. I happened to start this digital business, and I know how difficult it is really to start a business, because my wife and I used to own a traditional business, a massage business in one of the retail store here in Canada, Square One. We had a massage therapy business for 5 years, and we ran it as a traditional business, and that was a franchise. So you can just imagine how much difficult it is to start a franchise, the fees, and also being there 7 days a week, being in a retail space, right? So it was difficult for my wife and myself. So that's why I'm so grateful for this digital business, because this digital business will really gives us all of the opportunities and more to be very successful in life, right? So that's sort of where my life, like a sort of a fast forward thing. That's sort of how my life went. But the most gift that I could ever ask for are my 2 kids, of course, right? So that's really why I'm still working. It's really for my kids and my family. So yeah, that's all about me, and that's how I see my life differently now. But it is really, to me, for the better. So who wants to go next? Who wants
Your left side.
to go next?
I'll go next.
You're on mute. Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead, Ate Ying. Go ahead.
Okay. Hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. And if you're catching us this live or watching the replay, we truly appreciate you being here. For those of you who don't know me yet, my name is Ying Harlan. I'm a full-time professional, and I'm also someone who started exploring the digital business space because I wanted to create more options for my future, especially when it comes to time freedom, flexibility, and preparing for my retirement. Like many people, I realized that relying on just one income may not be always be enough, especially with the rising cost of living. That's why I became curious about learning new ways to build an additional stream of income while still working full time. All right, so my life story begins when bata pa si Neneng.
Ben,
No. I came to Canada in 89. And I went to school here and everything. That's where I met my husband. And starting a family here in Canada is very, very difficult because you start from the from really, really at the bottom, right? I still remember when I was doing two jobs and my husband was on night shift. So I'm working during the day, and so he watches the kids. And I think it was my son. He was only a young. It was only like 2 years old, I think. And then I had to come. No, not even two. It is a baby. So I have to finish my first job at 4, and then I have to take the subway and then go to another job. And I finish at about 9:30 at night. I have to take the GO train. By the time I get home, it's 11 o'clock at night. And then when I come home, I would do all the chores, make the bottle for the kids, and by the time I go to bed, it's like 1 o'clock, and I have to get up again early in the morning. And then that time, my husband goes to work because he's at night shift, right? It was we were struggling. We were struggling when we were like starting the family. It was very hard, and then until I said, oh my God, it's very hard. Like ang hirap ng ganon, di ba? Pero pag naalala mo yung araw na yon, parang paano natin nalagpasan yung mga yun, right? We were just talking about it just the other day. How did we, overcame all those challenges na nangyari sa atin? But I guess we're still here together, so we're we did it. So until we started looking for a bit. I guess nag-change yung job namin and everything, and then we were able to financially be okay, and then able to send the kids to school. And that was long time ago, okay? Matagal na yon, bata pa si Neneng noon. But anyways, so that was my life story here. And then now na medyo okay na kami and everything, pero parang kulang pa rin. It's still not enough kasi you go with the flow of life and the economy. It's so different, especially here in Canada. It seems like, I don't know if in US, but I don't know in Canada, and you can butt in, Joseph, if you want. It's so different now because our economy goes down. I feel like it's been going down, instead of going up, getting better. Right? You agree, Bernadette?
Yeah.
Right? Canada? It's
Say,
so
five,
hard.
5 years ago. It started 5 years ago. Yes. Yeah.
It started 5 years ago. It was so hard. Everything changed, and then COVID hits. Everything went
Yep.
up. I mean, for the houses, it's good for if you're selling it because the market was so high, But when you're buying, it was different, right? I don't know. Is it I know the real estate in US is a lot better, right? Tito Med?
You're mute, Tito Med. You're in mute. Yeah.
Well, it depends, like a roller coaster. Now is somewhat stable, no? That's why a lot of people are coming here. A lot from Canada are here to retire
California.
in Las Vegas. Las Vegas, the best place. So when you're retiring, come here. Stay here. It's the best place.
I will. Yeah, no, that's what I know. The real estate in US is a lot better because
Yeah.
I know we know a lot of friends who
Yes.
bought a
You can buy
house for like
You can buy car.
400,000 and it's big.
Mhm.
400,000
Cheaper
Canadian
here
is
in
nothing here.
Mm.
it's cheaper here in Nevada.
Oh
That's
yeah.
why most of the those living in California, they're going to like sell their houses. May sukli pa.
Because we don't have a federal.
Yeah, they can
state tax.
cash it here and then may sukli pa.
Yes,
Ah.
because a lot of Californians are here in Vegas, especially the
Yeah.
retirees. Yeah.
I
Kasi
mean, for
state tax.
housing, yeah, it's good. But when it comes to health naman, we're still good here. You know, we
Yes,
have good health um,
Yeah, because we're paying for it.
benefits.
insurance benefits. Yeah, we're okay with that.
Mhm.
If you really want to get more benefits, some of them you have to purchase the insurance. Pero we also have the Ontario, and you also have one something in Vancouver, right? In BC, Bernadette,
Yeah.
the health system, like you
Yeah.
just go and it's
Yeah.
as long as you have a card.
Yeah. They just swipe and that's it. You're good.
Yeah.
If you already have paid for it
Yeah.
through your taxes. That's the
Mhm.
reason
Yeah.
why.
Yeah.
But the thing is, what I heard, sa mga kamag-anak namin dyan, is you just have to schedule your treatments or your procedures ahead of time, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh
Here,
yeah.
Yeah.
here you can easily like what our doctor will refer you, and then right there and there, if they have a schedule open in 2 weeks, then you have your procedure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or if our insurance will cover it, then you can go it. We don't like have to wait for. I heard that you have to wait for 6 months before you have your procedure because it happened to one of our nieces over there.
Oh
You
yeah.
have to wait for 6 months just for one procedure to take, and she already has the symptoms.
Oh
So
no, I don't
here,
know. I'm
here
not
is
sure.
madali lang siya.
I think depende sa ano yun, sa sitwasyon. Kasi when I had my surgery, it was like, get it done. You need to get it done. Like
Yeah,
kasi
no,
they don't want
if
to
it's
wait.
really surgery and life threatening, then they probably will do it
Yes.
immediately. But
Yeah.
certain procedure like imaging only, ultrasound, or probably
Oh yeah, those are the ones you need to schedule.
yes.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's what I heard. But here, if the doctor will tell and refer you, okay, we need a CT scan, a CAT scan, or an MRI, you can readily like have it in 2 weeks, 3 weeks. We don't have to wait for months.
And how is the ER there, Tita Beth? Kasi you're
Depends sa hospital.
no, I mean, how's the ER? If you go to the emergency, is it like you get seen by the doctor right away, or is there like a waiting period?
Yeah,
Kasi dito, it will take you forever.
Yeah. There's a triage. So those life-threatening, they will be treated immediately. But yung mga abdominal pains only na is not really life-threatening, then they will just be like have to wait. It's better that you just go to
Priority.
urgent care.
Okay.
There's a different one. There's an urgent care. There's an emergency. Kung
Wala
ikaw,
yata kaming urgent care.
it's like an outpatient. Like an outpatient.
So, meron kami walk-in
Simple
clinic.
cough and cold, simple fever, mga ganun lang.
Ah.
Urgent care ka na. Don't go to the ER. Kasi sa ER talaga matagal kang
I know.
you're going to have to wait.
I remember when I was still like, I don't know, I didn't have any kids yet. I was allergic to shellfish, to shrimp.
Mhm.
No, I'm not anymore. I don't know.
Oh.
I outgrown that. So
That's
one shrimp I would eat, I would get hives, right? And sometimes, and it will. Oh my God, my nose will be big, my ears, like everything. And then my husband rushed me to the hospital, and then but he has to go to work, right? And it's his night shift. And then I was like, okay, I'm fine. I can take a cab home. And then I fell asleep. Nobody saw me. And then I woke up. Yeah, nobody saw me. I was in the waiting room, and then I woke up. I was like 1 o'clock in the morning. I was like, did a doctor see me? I says, oh, what's your name? So I said, oh, we were looking for you. I said, I fall asleep. I passed out in the ER. I was like, oh my God. But good thing that the allergy didn't go to my throat. You know how it can go to your throat and block your
Yes.
oh my God. So they just They just assessed me quickly, and I was fine. I was so scared. I was so scared. I never eat shellfish again. But after 5 years, I slowly introduced myself to eating shrimp, and then one, two, and then I'm good now. Anyway, that's my life story. I don't know, wala namang kwento pero but it's good. I was able to interact with everyone.
Yeah.
That's life
I-
in Canada.
That's life.
I know
Yeah.
I have just a suggestion to Sis Bernadette and Sis Ying. If you go to your CRA, the Canada Revenue Agency portal, right,
Mhm.
and you can click on taxes that you paid from that time that you started working until
Yeah.
now. Look into it and let me know if you paid enough towards the medical system of Canada.
Oh.
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 Yeah.
Oh.
You can
Well,
easily compare it with the United States. I know Canada is very convenient,
Yes.
but I have discovered that we pay too much in terms of our medical system.
Really?
Yeah, you can
oh.
check.
Wow.
You can check with CRA. It's individual. It'll tell you how much you
Yeah.
paid into your CPP, and it'll also tell you how much you paid in taxes in from the beginning until now. And then you can tell
Wow.
me if it was worth it.
April 7. All right. I see.
Okay. Sis Bernadette, you want to go next?
All right. Of course. Of course. Nakahanda na ba ang ating mga tissue? NNK ba to? Hindi naman sinabi. NNK pala ito.
Wala, dito na lang ako iiyak.
Dami
Tubig
tubig.
na lang, tubig na lang.
Dito na lang ako iiyak.
Enough.
Nakahanda na ako. Tubig at saka tissue. Okay.
Doon na lang.
All right. So this is the life I wanted and the life I am living right now. So back then, so this is my story. Mala MMK ito, papadala ko to for sure. All right. So back then, I was a service crew, a working student, tired, stretched, and just trying to survive each day. But deep inside, I carried a vision, a life I wanted but couldn't yet see how to reach. While others saw my situation, I held it onto faith. While life it felt heavy, I kept showing up. While progress was slow, I trusted that every step mattered. I climbed one step at a time. From the ground up to in a million pesos. We're talking about pesos company in the Philippines. I didn't skip the process. I embraced it. I grew through it. And eventually I became a manager. So I started as a service crew and then at some point into became a regular crew and then became a manager while I'm still working back then in my college days. That position didn't just change my life, it opened doors. It gave me the opportunity to go abroad. So back then, maybe going 10 years working as a manager in Philippines, and it gave me the opportunity to go into a bigger space, so to step into a bigger world, and went to one country and cross country to come here to Canada. And today I stand here not just a worker, not just as someone who made it through, but as a citizen that you are seeing right now. And of course, a very, very proud CEO of a digital business. But let me tell you this truth. The real transformation was just in my position. It was in my mindset. It was in choosing faith over fear. It was in believing that God had a greater plan, even when I couldn't see it yet. Even when I was young, I already dreamed to become a manager, to become a CEO. That's my dream. Even when I was just like 7 years old. Yes, that's my dream. And there you go. And it was in choosing over faith, like what I said earlier. It was in believing that God has a greater plan into my life. There will always be a gap between the life you want and the life we're currently living. The question is, will you let the gap discourage you, or will you let it drive you? Because that gap is where that growth happens. The gap is when faith is tested. That gap is where your future is built. I am a living proof that your beginning doesn't define your ending. Your current situation is not your final destination. So keep going, stay faithful, trust the process, and never stop believing in what God has placed in your heart. Because one day you won't just be dreaming about the life you wanted, you'll be living it. So, as you can see, the Jeremiah 29:11, I don't know where, that's what I am claiming, and really look into God's promises in my life. So, I started small, really small. Could you imagine working a service crew, a working student, and at the same time doing my practicum in the biggest bank in the Philippines, and still going to work into my night shift in as a service crew? But that doesn't end my dreams. Really work harder and harder, and all of our customers were even saying like, I've seen you there, I've seen you in the bank, I've seen you. Some of my teachers would say like, where you were working in the accountant area? I said yes. And I could not even, looking back, honestly, I was just like, how did I even really do that? And that is because of the powerful mindset even in my younger years. So I have always that in, doing that, the end in mind. So I don't know how, but I already see, I have envisioned what's ahead of me. So I am so grateful and thankful to the Lord that God has given me a second home here in Canada. And I'm so happy and grateful once again to met all of you guys, not just friends, my family, and of course my business partners. So that's the story I got. Humble beginning, and I just give God the glory to everything that I have right now, because I know that without Him, I am really nothing. So that's my
Oh my
story.
God. Oh, thank you so much for sharing.
Iyak na si Tito Med.
Yes. Sis Bernadette and Sis Ying, thank you so much for sharing that. I mean, yeah, we're so eager to hear from Tito Med and Tita Bet.
Umiiyak pa siya eh. Patapusin mo muna
I'm
iyak niya.
speechless now. I'm
You
speechless
know,
now.
You're
you
so
know, that's
Bernadette.
Si
you know,
Bernadette, yung kwento mo
Mindset
na I've seen you somewhere in the bank or something like that. You're doing here the same thing. I saw you on 6AB. Oh, I
Yeah,
just saw you live last night. I just saw you live this morning. It's like
Bernadette's everywhere.
it's everywhere.
yeah.
powerhouse.
Yes, very busy.
Powerhouse.
Yan ang powerhouse.
Powerhouse.
Oo, sos. Ikaw na.
Nice. Sige,
Bata
ano na
pa
sila?
lang, sinadya na.
Ikaw naman. Wala daw siya masabi.
Kuya
Naku,
Med,
baka abutin tayo ng isang oras.
hindi, simula natin, alam mo yung ano ba yung Kuya Eddie kahapon lamang?
Oh,
Oo.
yeah.
Panahon namin yun.
Kuya Eddie.
Akala ko Ray Langit.
Panahon namin yun.
Yung Helen Villa, yung
Sige, Kuya,
napakasakit.
sige, Kuya Eddie. Sige, Kuya Eddie.
Kasi, Helen Villa, Lovingly Yours.
Yeah.
Yung Ballad for Adeline. Tang, tang, da-da-da-dan, da-da-da-dan.
Memorize pa niya yung
Our life in the Philippines, I would begin first. Our life in the Philippines before we get married is like, I would say, average, or we're living in a middle class. We're not rich, we're not poor, but the good thing, we're happy. We have our kids. All our 5 kids were made in Cebu. And then I have a nice work there because I work in electric power company as electrical engineer, and I have a very nice, good position, high rank. But then we dream of a life, because I was able to foresee what will be our life 20 years or 30 years from now, especially when we retire. Because at the age of 60, I have no work anymore in the Philippines. So we're retired. Now, what about my kids? What about our future? Can we sustain the life there that we started? So,
We married late kasi.
yan pero it's not too late, because tagal kita sinagot. But anyway, the story. Iba ng live yan, ha? Sunod natin the topic.
Ay,
But anyway,
Tita Beta, ikaw pala ng ligaw, ah.
So, working story. But anyway, we'll go on the topic later. But anyway, to make our dream come true, that's why we migrated here, because we want to have a better future, and of course
Especially for our children.
yeah. So we want to migrate. And I know everybody, all of us are immigrants. So,
Yeah.
so we want to migrate in the land of honey and milk. No, diba? So yun ang ating mga mentality that we have a very nice life here. So that's how we started. So 2004, we migrated. The whole family migrated, and right here we were in Las Vegas. We are thrown in this strange. Nobody. We
don't have anybody.
we
don't know
nobody
anybody
here. So that's our life. So we started our life. So a good thing I was able to work in a power company. Although I was not able to work as electrical engineer, but I was able to work as also in engineering field. So I work hard, and then to the point that we are preparing for our retirement, because our dream when we retire, what shall we do? So we have already that plan that when we retire, of course, right now we already reached in that stage. As Joseph said, we are now in the go years stage in our retirement, because it's the best chapter in our life. It's the most exciting one where we enjoy and live the comfort as we retire. Now, that's the reality. Are we fulfilling the dream life that we want? So that's the reality right now. So at the start, when we retired, we're thinking. That's why the good thing I was able to retire at my age, because I want that we are ready for the retirement. So when we retire, the reality is this. So we're thinking that, okay, this is it. But it's that we were stuck, because we found out that it's not enough. We found out later on that our savings is not enough, our retirement money is not enough, so we cannot live the life that we want, our future, our dream of traveling. But it's not enough, because we're only relying on what Uncle Sam is giving us. So financially, we're stuck. So that's why it's totally different. That's why we engage something that we need to supplement our income. So the plan was to let us go back to working force. So maybe Beth can go back to her nursing job, maybe on home health, or I'll be in department stores like Walmart as greeter or a crossing guard. So that's why we want to enjoy the life, that we can enjoy the time freedom and financial freedom. So how can we do that if we still go back to work? So we find a way, and here comes this answered prayer that we have this business, that we can work anytime, anywhere, without sacrificing work. So that's how.
Yun yung side niya. Nag-start siya dito nung nandito na kami. Pero yung life namin, before, kasi we are from different place of the Philippines. Andun siya sa Mindanao, ako nandito sa Luzon. Pero yung mga anak namin nasa Cebu. Doon pinanganak.
Wow.
So, Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao. Ako taga Luzon, yung mga anak namin taga Visayas. Then siya taga Mindanao. So,
Wow.
after we go on vacation, kailangan Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao. yung mga,
That's when we're still working, no?
when we were still working, so the 3 weeks vacation namin, yun ang life namin. 3 weeks vacation namin kulang. Although 1 month 1 month is the allowed, the maximum, but the 1 week is for the preparation before, and the after you have to come back. We don't want to go back right away at work. The jet lag, diba? So
Yes.
that's our life before. Na there are times that when we go home, I'll stay in Batangas. He will go to Mindanao
Because to
because that time
maximize our time.
yeah,
Kasi
the time constraints. So he has to see his brothers and sisters. I have to stay with my relatives, also my parents, my family during that time. And the thing is, what really made us decided to migrate, pabalik-balik ako, migrate, is like what he said, the opportunity to give a better life for our children. The reason why we migrated, kasi ito talaga magka-Canadian yan.
it's not about Canada. Really, my
He
first
really applied for Canada.
Yeah. I was
to migrate.
accepted na.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was accepted, just waiting. And then here I have there's an opportunity for us to migrate to the USA. So USA, I'm like really accepted already because I am a nurse, no? And there's no problem for me to go take the NCLEX, the licensure, because I already have one from New York. All I have to do is just like apply for reciprocity to be activated here in Nevada. So siya, sige, hintay, sige. How are we going to decide? So we have to pray for that. If in case both of us are accepted, okay, whichever country will call us first, that's where we are going. Lo and behold, noon USA.
Oh.
Na interview. After our interview, dala-dala namin yung mga anak namin sa US Embassy. After the interview, upon returning back to Cebu, here comes Canada. He was called. Yeah. Okay.
Laging huli ang Canada.
Wow.
Yeah.
Kaya sabi ko sa kanya, bakit ka magka-Canadian? Canadian ka na dito sa US.
Oo nga. Oo nga, Tito Med, Canadian ka na dyan. Magluto ka na
kaya sa
dyan.
USA, kay Anders asawa, abot ko Canada.
So yun ang nangyari. So that's why we and the what do you mean, the state that we have to choose, because it depends upon the agency where I applied. So you choose Washington DC or Las Vegas.
Oh.
I have to consult my parents. Where do we have to go? And the great influence, of course, was my mother. Ano pa lang nun? Yung 20, kailan ba yung 911?
2021. Oh no, 2001.
2001. 2002 ako
9/11.
nag-apply. So
9/11.
I said, don't go to Washington, D.C. You never know, baka mag-bombing na naman dyan sa ano. Yung 9/11 dito,
Yeah.
the Twin Tower was like,
Yeah.
ano, di ba? So, wag ka dyan sa East Coast. O dito nilang ka sa ano, sa Las Vegas. And anyway, it's like, since we don't know anybody from Las Vegas, so okay, I think it's like near California. He has some relatives in California, so that's why we decided to stay here. Nothing, wala. Yun ang life namin. Wala kaming kilala. Sinamahan pa kami. We have to like look for some places to stay. Walang bahay, walang ano. We went to go to the apartment, and they only have like three bedroom apartments here. We're 7. The 5 kids and us, 7. So they are sabi, okay, every room should have only 2 persons. So saan ko nalagay yung isa kong anak? Diba? So there's no apartment which is 4 bedroom. The max is 3 bedrooms. So it's so difficult. We even like, you just stay in the car. Just stay in the car. And so that they will know, they will accept it. No, it didn't go through. So it's probably
Yeah. At Tibet, how many boys and how many girls?
1 boy, 4 girls.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Boy.
Yeah. Sa kahahanap ng katuwang na lalaki, ayan, dumami.
Nanay lalaki. Actually, what happened is probably for me is answered prayers. Everything that happens, there's a reason.
Yeah.
I prayed
Yes.
for Canada and the Lord, if this is it, I was thinking it is Canada because I applied it 3 years. Just imagine the processing it took us 3 years. Here comes this very fast within a year. meron na
Yeah, one and a
kaming
half. We
one
have
and a half.
already have a
We have already
The
a
visa.
schedule for the visa. Just imagine that. And oh my goodness. So I have to uh, sabihin ko yung ating agency, you have to cancel our application in Canada, and all those documents were returned to me. But the
What
science,
year was that, Tito Med? Mga 2000?
yeah, 1998 ka yata nag-apply,
no,
no?
mga,
Kasi
2000,
2000. Hindi,
2000,
2001 ako
something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I applied it.
I think they started like
And they gave us a lot of requirements. So imagine how
yeah.
strict is Canada is, and I understand that. Number one, they have to let me take some like what is that?
IELTS.
IELTS, because they want me that I know how to speak English. Oh, come on, what's going on here? So what I did is, mabuti kilala ko Jesus University, send them like
You have English subjects, young.
all our medium structures are English. Why should you, take that IELTS, So I passed it, and they required me show money. Just imagine for 7 months, required us more than $1 million.
Yeah.
And I told the
Pesos
yeah,
or Canadian?
pesos.
Pesos.
For the first 3 years of 3 months, you have to look for a job, and then after that, you cannot find a job. The government will give you, subsidy to the kids. And I told them, no, I don't have $1 million here, but if you give me a visa, more than that I can give you, because I can get the money from the company I work, because they're giving me a separation fee, more than that. And even I want to sell my house, but it's really God's plan. When here comes you is wala kaming di na bintang house, we're not giving us show money, and
Yeah.
everything is small well. Even sa whatever, wala tayong bayad, no?
Wala.
Application.
No, kayo lang binayaran ko, ako
Yeah.
wala.
So everything is, plan, That's why if something is, you think na this is it, and then magreklamo
And we
ka na,
even
this,
ask for
yeah.
prayers really plays a lot in our journey, kasi I said, sana makakuha kami ng bahay na near the church, near the school, near the place where I will work. Bahala na kako siya. Anyway, marunong siya mag-drive. Ako hindi pa naman ako marunong mag-drive that time. So, and it all happens.
Oh,
So
wow.
we never leave this area where, although we transfer from one house to another house, but within this area, dun pa rin kami.
You can bet many houses here. I think this is our third house.
That's good.
Or yeah, that's it.
But
So
anyway,
when we visit you in Vegas,
Hmm.
we can stay at your house near the church.
That's right.
Near the parks, we have 2 parks there.
Pwede
In
mo
walking
makakita.
distance, yeah.
now, talking about the life, the dream life, the difference now, because we have this business. Okay, now we have now the direction because of this business, and we have the purpose, and now we have the hope that the life we dream is possible because of this business.
Yes,
Amen.
yes.
People,
Right.
consistent,
Patience.
patience.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. Thank you so much for sharing that, all of your vulnerabilities. And I got to know more about you tonight. So thank you for sharing that. I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know half of it. Even Ate Ying or Ate Bernadette, I didn't know half of that. Whatever you said, and obviously Kuya Med and Tita Bet, sorry, or Ate Bet, I should say.
Tingnan mo, nakakalito talaga no?
Maganda talaga.
Tita Med.
Nalilimutan. Pero yeah, no, it's again, thank you so much for sharing that. I mean, do you want to say anything more before we end this conversation? But I feel as though there's going to be a part 2, but part 2 would be just for, syempre for kwentuhan or stories lang or whatever, sharing. But do you want to say anything else before we wrap up?
Ano pa ba?
Huh? Wala?
What can we say?
What can you say?
So,
Don't forget the life that you lived before. Make
Yes.
it as your stepping stone.
Mhm.
Whatever you have learned before,
Yeah.
it's not. It's like your foundation.
Mhm.
What you're living right now and will be living in the future. Yun lang.
Yeah. For me naman,
Yes.
ano, yung kung naghirap kayo or if you struggled in the past, uh, use it as your strength. Kasi parang ganun ginawa ko eh. Nahirapan kami and then, you know what, we just need to be strong and we can
Mhm.
get through this. So, use it as your strength and then, you know what, hindi naman agad-agad na merong mangyayari right away, but you will see the development, if you're really positive, you will see the difference that you're going to your goal, you know, like when I was young, when we were struggling at that time, I said, you know what, um, we were just renting at that time, and then so I want to have a house. So let's have a house. So we were able to get a house, smaller at that time, and then you know what's okay. We have a house and stuff, and the next thing you know, I said, well, we want more kids and all that. Says we want a bigger house, a big house. So you know you slowly dream of your dream is always going to be there, but don't give up your dreams. All I'm saying is that don't give up your dreams, stay with it, but try and work on it, you know, stick to your goal, eye on the prize, and make it as like, yeah, I want to reach there. So just like in this business, I wanna be one of the successful business partner, just like everybody else, right? You know, because if they can do it,
Mhm.
we can do.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
That's it for me.
And for me
Wow.
naman po would be stay grounded. No matter what, kung saan man kayo dadalhin ni Lord, stay grounded and try to look back kung saan kayo nanggaling. And with that, be grateful. Kasi when you have a gratefulness in your heart, God will really bless your big heart. And at the same time, you always need to put God first as the center of your life because God will truly bless you and abundantly. And of course, wag din nating kalimutan yung mga taong tumulong sa atin nung kailangan natin sila. Kasi at some point, they were there nung walang-wala ka. Pero ngayong medyo umaangat ka na, don't forget those people kasi yung mga taong yun nagbigay at nag-share ng kakarampot din nilang financial para makatulong. So with that said, paying it forward, that's the best attitude that we should be. And at the same time, that's why we are sharing to you kung ano yung mga story namin before. And now, hindi kami sa nagmamayabang, pero God will really put you to the right place para makita ng lahat ng tao, yung mga nang mata sa inyo, yung mga nag-put down sa inyo, na sasabihin nila dati na, well, hindi niya yan kaya. But God will, in front of their eyes, will lift you up. Talagang, you don't need to boast, but God will really give you everything that you need, everything that you prayed for. Just be genuine and have faith and always put God first.
Wow. Wow. Thank you so much. My God, as we wrap up tonight, I just want to say thank you to all of you for this impromptu session. We just did this an hour ago. So thank you so much for your time. And for this, yeah, and for those of you watching, and thank you so much for taking a moment for yourself as well. Life moves fast, and sometimes we don't pause long enough to ask what we want, right? I mean, sometimes we get caught up in a lot of things, but if tonight's conversation made you reflect even a little, that's already a powerful step. Powerful step. So you don't have to change everything overnight. We didn't do that ourselves. We actually took our time and research very much as to what we're in for, and obviously most of us here never look back. So sometimes all it takes is being honest um, with yourself, right, and being open to something new. Sometimes that's all what it takes, right? And wherever you are in your journey right now, just know it's okay. You're exactly where you need to be.
Yeah.
Okay. So thank you so much for all of the wisdom and inspiring stories and things that you all shared to our viewers tonight. I wanted to again thank you, all of you, and to our viewers. And hopefully, we do this again with other business partners as well. And we hope we connect with our viewers and yourselves very soon, very soon. So anyway, wishing you all good night, good afternoon, or good morning, wherever you are. Until our next episode. Bye for now, and God bless you all.
Bye.
We're
Good
gonna take picture
Bye.
after. Thank you
Yeah.
for watching.
Bye. Thank you for watching.
Yeah, yeah, don't go anywhere. Yeah, thank you for watching. Don't go anywhere.
Just a live.